Okay, very good. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the workshop session of the Town of Henrietta Planning Board on Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Members present: Matt Borkowski, Patricia Brill, Craig Eckert, Walter Liss, Marcy Reynolds, Steve Rutledge, Planning Board Attorney Don Young, town staff present, Chris Martin, Director of Engineering and Planning, and Luke Bushin, Deputy Director of Engineering and Planning. I want to take a quick moment and formally welcome Mr. Stephen Rutledge to the board. I know we did it virtually last month, but you're here tonight, so thank you very much. And if you haven't met everybody at this point, we will at the end of the meeting. So thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll invite everybody to join the board in standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first item of business this evening will be the approval of the minutes from the January 20th, 2026 meeting. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding those minutes that were submitted by Heather? Hearing none, the chair will make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 20th, 2026 meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. And any abstains? 2 abstains. Okay, thank you. So 5, 2 abstains. Okay, thank you very much. We have approval. The minutes are in the record. Okay. First and only application this evening is application number 26-001, Extra Space Storage. This is a building addition. It's for final site plan approval of a proposed 4-story, 41,367 square foot addition to the existing climate-controlled self-storage building located at 1270 Jefferson Road in an industrial zone district. So good evening. I'll have you introduce yourself, and the floor is yours.
Great. Good evening. I'm Randy Bebout with Bowler Engineering here on behalf of Extra Space Storage. As you described, we're proposing a 4-story climate-controlled building addition, which intent is for this to be constructed on the back side of the existing 3-story climate controlled building. It'll be physically abutted right up to it. There will be an access point on the southeast corner to get into that building from a service entry. And then the building will have overhead doors on either side, and then there'll be another access point on the north side. The area here in gray is the pavement area. We're actually pulling some of that pavement area back from existing. This has been designed to get the fire truck around the building, and we've provided that template on the plan. We originally didn't have the right template, but we had updated that, and that does work to get it around the building. As part of this project, in working with staff initially, even before we brought it to the town, one of the goals was to get maximize as much green space, minimize the amount of green space loss, because this is green back in here today, which I would note at some point in time, 20 plus years ago, this was all buildings and all pavement. So it's kind of changed over the course of time. But in working with the staff, what we did is we're adding additional green spaces throughout the site. We're actually narrowing this drive lane on the west side to add green space. We're adding green space here, and then we're adding green space here. And a note on the green space we're adding on the east side is we actually met with Manitou Concrete at the request of the fire marshal. The fire marshal had requested that We provide another means of egress, emergency egress into the site. Currently, if you're not familiar with the site, there's a block wall that runs all along here. And the purpose of that is to prevent vehicles from really on the extra space storage site from coming into the site, because when Manito's trucks come in, they come in here and they're going up on the bridge here to get loaded. So just from a safety concern, but in regards to the request, we did meet with them on site. Manito is receptive to the idea of providing a gated access. I have if the board needs to see it, I have a graphic, I'll say sketch of that. Essentially 2 swing gates that will be locked. And then in the situation of emergency, it can be unlocked and there'll be a secondary means of egress for emergency equipment. So they have not signed off on that yet, but talked to them, and in the field, they were said, sort of nodded their head and say they're receptive to it. We provided the sketch. The gentleman that needs to sign off on that's just been out of town. So we're just waiting for his final blessing, but we do anticipate that'll happen. So from a zoning standpoint, this is zoned correctly, same use. In regards to compliance, we're compliant with all setbacks. In regards to parking, we did, at the request of town staff, we looked at the total storage area, we looked at the total number of units, and based on that, you got to take the greater of the two. If it's based on the storage area, it's 9 parking spaces required. If you base it on the number of units, it's slightly under, it's like 11 and change. So what we would propose is we have 9 existing spaces. And again, keeping in mind, the idea is we're trying to maximize green space, that we would land bank the additional spaces that we need. We would never anticipate having to construct them. The 9 spaces, they have a little bit more than that today, but are more than adequate for the operation, thinking that typically, most people are coming to the door, parking and loading and unloading stuff. So that's the site plan. We're not proposing any changes to access point. And we are adding a new dumpster enclosure up in the front to replace what's there. And then in regards to the building, I do have building elevations. So the intent for the new building is that it's going to match the existing materials of the climate control building that's there. So this view here is just looking at the front of the building from Jefferson Road. All you're seeing of the new building is this facade in the back on the upper level. This is the rear facade or the north facade. This is the east facade, and then this is the west facade. Essentially, once it's constructed, it'll be consistent with the materials that are there, which is the bulk of this is metal siding, metal rib siding, metal roll-up doors, metal awnings. That makes up the building information. We did receive comments from town staff. We did provide a response to that today. We really don't take any exception with the comments. We'll address all those. There's landscaping comments that our landscape architect, we're coordinating with him to get that updated, but we will provide an updated plan that is consistent with those, addressing all those comments. We did go to the town board. Town board granted the special use permit for the building height. So just backing up to the original discussion with town staff, this originally came in as a 3-story bigger footprint. And the guidance provided was that it would be preferred to have a taller building, smaller footprint, so that we can maintain as much green space. So with that, we had to go to the town board to get a special permit for the height, which is 47 foot 1 inches is the proposed height. They did grant that. We also went to the conservation board. We do have their comments. In general, it was a lot of note comments and a couple species changes, again, which we take no exception with. So we'll address those. I think with that, that's all I have, and then I can answer any questions that the board may have.
Great. Well, thank you, Randy. One question. So the addition, is that going to be connected internally to the existing site or no? It's going to be like a standalone building with just its own access? Or is there going to be a connection
So,
between the two buildings, the original one and the new one?
yeah, I think if I understand it correctly, so we have this little, I'll call it an L
Yep.
here, that there's a door here in
Okay.
the back, and then there's gonna be a door here.
Gotcha.
So that's the interconnection between the two buildings.
Got ya.
The only other interconnection is the intent is that the utilities from this building, water, electric, et cetera, carry on to the back building. Some of that still has to be confirmed, whether there's enough capacity there to serve the new building. And if not, we'd have to look at new services that we would work with town, whatever outside agencies.
Great, thank you. And then I might ask if you could just bring that drawing of the gate and we'll start
Yes.
down with Mr. Rutledge and so we all get a chance to take a look at that.
Yep, I have that here. Just.
Thank you.
On the back corner of the easternmost.
Very good. Okay, well, thank you for that. The chair will recognize Mr. Eckert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
This looks like a great addition to the space. I have a couple of comments just from my quick review. Any new lighting on this building?
Yes, there will be building mounted lighting on the three sides of the building. We're not proposing any new pole mounted lighting.
So I didn't see any specs or any information, or I don't see a com check then on the lighting.
We did provide a lighting plan. We did not provide a com check, which we will do. We'll work with the project architect to get that done.
I didn't see the lighting plan.
Not looking here, Fred.
Yeah, we'll just want the picture cut and put on the.
Oh, yep, good.
You found it?
Yep. And 18 feet because that's above the gate or that's above the door, or we're also showing light spillage off this onto the adjacent properties.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
So yeah, I'm gonna need to see I'd like to see a spec on that light. I didn't see the cut sheet.
That was not, it's called out, but the actual fixture isn't shown in the drawing, but we'll add that.
Okay. And then I don't know if there's a way, it is 18 feet above the door entrance, or is there a way to drop that down?
We'll work with the
And
architect. We can review that with the
Might
architect.
be needed. So, I mean, I'm not gonna approve a drawing that shows light spill onto a property,
Understand.
to adjoining property, so.
Okay.
That was my first comment. The stormwater. I see roof leaders off the west side that head up to a pipe to the north and tie into an existing catch basin. It's undeterminate. I think I was not able to tell where that water goes from that point. It looks like there's a 15-inch RCP to the east, but that then heads north. Yep, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 over. I guess on the north side of that eastern building. I can't tell if it goes north or south. There's a 15-inch RCP that runs through there.
We'll take a look at that.
Yeah, because the 15 to the north lines up with Dolomite's building. So I'm not sure if any analysis has been done on whether or not that can accept the amount of water coming from the roof.
Well, that was my comment earlier. At one point in time, this entire site was developed.
Yeah. And do we know where the water went then?
I'm
I
sorry.
guess, do we know where the water went at that point?
Well, I don't believe with the climate control project, this initial, when they did the initial 3-story building, which removed the buildings back here, from what we can tell, there's been no changes to that storm sewer system.
Okay.
So we actually, I mean, if you're looking, comparing to that, we actually have a reduction in impervious area.
Yeah, I guess I'd still just like to see that,
Yes.
that water's going. And my point to that is I'm not even sure, and I can talk to Chris about this. I mean, I see a 24-inch CMP in the northwest corner. And it looks like that takes it. I mean, it looks like it's flat, but I'm not sure if it runs it off the property to the creek to the west. So my point is, I'm not sure if that's where the water went before. Is to the west and not to the north.
But again, you're not changing the drainage patterns. The drainage patterns have been there since the facility's been open.
Correct.
What I'd like to see certainly, and I think we asked for maybe a note to be added to the plan, just to make sure that that existing storm sewer system is functioning properly. So you might want it, it might need to be flushed out or cleaned or
Yep.
something like that, or televised to see if there's any repairs that need to be made. And like I said, I'll send you the record drawings that we have from the previous project. That should show everything.
Makes sense.
So that we're sufficient that that's gonna take the water, go and send
Yeah.
it to Dolomite without any problems to Dolomite.
Well, it's been doing that for 30, 40 years now, so I don't imagine that we would still have a problem. But again, it's good to check it out to make sure that everything's functioning properly, that's just charging to whatever creek or swale.
Yeah, because this is just then supposedly going underneath the building.
Underneath Manitos building,
Mhm.
that you know.
That's what, well, that's all the plans are showing. Right.
And your point is,
We're sending water to another building.
yeah, which is certainly a lot less, or less than what was previously.
It's been grass.
Well, it's 25% green space and this is 21.4.
Yeah.
So as you know, the amount that changes insignificant.
Think sending it to another building or to another property would be of interest. The fire access you said is going in towards the Dolomite on the backside. Is there not also a secondary access already on the eastern half, on the eastern side to that?
Well, this currently is,
That's curbed.
no, this is actually all wide open today.
Yeah. And then I was actually going a little bit further south even. Yeah, aren't those two connected?
Yes, you can come in here, but the access they can't get around this building.
Oh, okay. So that's why he wants the one on the north
Yeah,
side.
the benefit of having gated access here is the fire truck can come in here and swing wide and you could go straight across and then go
Okay.
back around the building.
I got you.
I think
Okay.
my understanding of thought process is, if the building's on fire, there could be equipment in here and he needs to get another
know.
piece of equipment in there that would give him the means to do that.
Sure. No, and that's understandable then too, if he can't swing on the north side from that second egress.
Yeah.
Okay. Those were the extent of my comments, Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Mr. Ecker. The Chair will recognize Mrs. Brill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Many of my questions have been answered. No, it's all good. Bear with me one second. Forgive me if you mentioned this in your opening. The amount of existing and proposed units.
Yes, I have that. It was on the updated site plan that we sent. The existing, there is 532 storage units. The total proposed with existing and new is 847.
Thank you. I was curious the difference because the 4-story just seems and that looks small from the road. but you can see from the overhead how deep it goes back. What are what is the grid work on the top of the building? The existing building, forgive me.
Solar.
You sure?
It looks like solar.
It's in that,
It's just a rooftop, yeah.
okay.
Sometimes they have on top of gravel roofs, they'll have around HVAC units, they'll have pavers. So that you can walk on the roof.
Yeah, but that's.
It's huge.
Bigger. See,
Secret story.
I don't know.
because the solar makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what it does, but it just doesn't look like it. So
See what the
It's a great spot for solar.
I've seen some of these that have, where light can come through because they're open units on the inside. I'm just wondering if it was that versus.
It could be
solar.
daylighting, yeah.
Yeah. And, currently in compliance with setbacks, so no loading or unloading dock, it's just for the individuals.
Correct.
And you're gonna look to lower the lighting and get back to us with the drawings.
Yes, we'll review that with the
Cut
architects. and-
sheets, thank you. No exceptions, that's all I had, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Brill. The chair will recognize Mr. Borkowski.
I'm all set, Mr. Chairman.
Very
Thank you.
good, thank you. Chair will recognize Mr. Liss.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no concerns. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chair will recognize Mrs. Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
Just a couple quick questions. You have vehicle storage there. Do you have restrictions on what kinds of vehicles can be stored?
Should be none.
Yeah.
No restrictions?
No, there shouldn't be any vehicle stored on site. I mean,
No. There's no vehicles?
Yeah, I don't believe so.
no, for Henrietta Town Code, we don't allow vehicles stored on at a self-storage. Inside the building, yes. Outside the building, no.
So does this unit have inside? There's no vehicle storage inside this unit then?
That I don't know.
Clint, is that, if you're listening, is that something that you can answer?
Yeah, there's no current vehicle storage on the site.
There isn't. Okay, because I looked on the website and it said they had a couple sized units for vehicles. And I was just curious. Okay, that's all. That's all I
Right.
have. Thank you,
Hey,
Mr. Chair.
Clint, I can't see your last name. Can you just introduce yourself for the record here, please?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my name's Clint Kleppe. I'm with Extra Space Storage.
Thank you. Mrs. Reynolds, all set?
Yes, I'm all set.
Okay, thank you. All right, the chair will recognize Mr. Rutledge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
I have no additional comments.
Very good, thank you. Randy, I'm sorry. Okay, just a second. Yep. Hey, Randy, one of the comments from Mr. Wilson was he hadn't received a utility plan. Has he received that at this point? Do you know?
So as of right now, there is no proposed utilities. The intent is to connect to the existing.
Oh, God, you did mention that. Okay, yeah.
But I did mention that and I put an asterisk on that, you know, the building design has not been
Okay,
completed, so that needs to be worked through. Again, if they determine that, you know, the fire service isn't big enough or the electric service isn't big enough, we'll be coordinating that. That'll be part of the final plans that go back to the engineering department, would coordinate with any. outside
okay, thank you very
agencies.
much. Okay, the chair will recognize Mr. Eckert.
Yes, I'm sorry, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The addition of the dumpster enclosure, that's what I had a note on to ask again. What were the materials for that? And did I miss that on the drawings too?
I don't know if that was actually one of the comments that we need to add a detail, so I just need to confirm with our client what the preference is there. I don't know if the town has a minimum standard that we need to achieve.
I think we have our detail is 8 foot in CMU with either a stockade or solid gate.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of other materials for it, for the closure, but we prefer CMUs or something to match the existing building.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be opposed to something smaller. We do allow a 5-footer, a 5 foot tall enclosure we have before, but we need to understand that you've got the dumpster that fits and
Yeah.
I mean, do you get more trash from people throwing stuff out from their own storage unit? Because you don't create trash here.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clint, I don't know if you have any insight on volume?
Yeah, we generate very little trash as per our contract, all tenants are required to take their trash with them when they leave. They cannot dispose of it on site.
You don't get couches left in the dumpster enclosure and things like that, right? I mean,
We really try and avoid that for sure.
Okay.
We have cameras all over the place, and if we do encounter somebody that's abandoned a larger piece of furniture or something, they're promptly called and they come and retrieve it.
okay, great.
So then maybe a 5-footer may be suitable here. And can I comment on that only because it's up front and it
Yeah.
would be a little less to constructed, a little less to see.
Yeah.
What I would say is the top of the unit or the enclosure has to be higher than the height.
Right, okay. But I see that it is shielded with landscaping, so that helps.
Yes.
So, okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Now, Randy, since there's no loading or unloading in the back there, we can potentially reduce the setback. Is that something that will be helpful to you in this project or not a big deal?
I think it's close to that 6 feet. Yeah, so there's gonna be some type of action from the planning board to allow them to go from 60 feet to 38 feet.
Right. But we can't do it here, you're saying?
No, you can do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So Randy, is that something that you would like to request?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, I will poll the board. We'll take a vote on that. We'll make a motion to reduce the setback on this project from 60 feet to 38 feet. Where's my sheet? Here we go.
If you make the motion again.
I'm gonna ask for a motion. Yep, I'll reduce the setback, yep. So the chair will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to
Thank you.
setback from 60 to 38.
Thank you, Mr. Borkowski.
Confirm, that's the amount we need, is 30, is that the right number?
Yes. You make it 30 feet, just to keep yourself from leaving.
37,
Yeah, let's go with 37.
okay,
Gives them a little.
Yeah.
And I'll make the motion to change the setback from 60 to 37 feet.
thank you, Mr. Borkowski.
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. List, thank you. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, motion carries. So we've got to reduce setback. Thank you, everybody.
37 feet, right?
To 37 feet, that's correct.
Right?
It's 38
No,
on
we
the
changed
date.
it to 37, yep. Okay, Mr. Martin, any comments from engineering?
I'm all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Young. Anything from the legal seat?
Nothing additional except just wondering if we want to add any condition relative to the lighting.
Regarding the cons? And
Yeah, I think that contract was one of my comments as well. And providing a catalog cut. The lights spillage, want to add something on that they'd have to get below the 1 foot candle. And my thought was, you're in a heavily industrial area anyway. You've got Manitowoc to your north, another industrial building to the east or west rather. And again, the light spillage wasn't that great. However, I can understand Mr. Rector's point. So, they can certainly adjust the height or the wattage to get it below that 1 foot candle outside the, temp. So again, either way is fine. We won't sign off on it until it's correct.
okay,
So is there then, for Don's comment, is there a point where we're okay with, do we want to say no light spillage or are we good with a foot candle off the property?
I would be specific with the foot candle on the property, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is in the town code, so, technically, would you need a variance, I suppose? So
Yeah,
I'd
okay.
rather see I would rather see the lighting adjusted, so it's less than 1 foot candle across the property line.
Okay.
I
So we
think they can make that.
Yeah.
change pretty easily, less than 1 foot candle, yes.
All right, so we'll add that condition.
Right, it's close.
So that it doesn't exceed greater than 1 candle, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just slightly, but, again, slightly, so same as not.
So we're still good then with the condition, Chris, that they have to meet the 1 foot candle spillage? Or,
You want to read back your.
Yeah, so if it's okay with the board, I'll add a whereas to say that the planning board reduced the setback to the rear to 37 feet. And then also, add a condition, number 2, to say that both building lighting be modified in order to reduce light spillage onto the adjacent property such that it is not greater than 1 foot candle. Also the satisfaction of the town director of engineering.
okay,
What about the comments, Tim? That's already in Chris's comments, and we already have a requirement for this to be addressed.
all right, well, the chair will entertain a motion.
Do we need anything for the dumpster enclosure? Is that already your comment?
Yeah, I have it, that it has to be 8 foot high minimum, they have to provide the.
Okay.
But again, we can adjust the height based on this conversation.
So all the other comments that we've addressed, you already have in yours as well.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
With that being said, any additions to the comments? Motion to approve.
For the written resolution,
As per the revolution, and what was that? Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Brill. May I get a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Eckert. Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Congratulations.
Great, thank you.
You're
Appreciate the
welcome.
board's time.
We're glad business is so good that you can put an addition up back there.
that's good.
It's a lot of good. All right, Randy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You too. All right. So our last item this evening is a discussion item that's carrying over from last month. The planning board is to continue our review of an addendum to the town's landscape guidelines proposed by the Conservation Board prior to adoption by the town board. Is anybody from the Conservation Board with us this evening? No. Okay. We had Noreen Reardon here last month, and we wanted to kind of delay that. So Patty and Matt, you had a chance to look at and offer any comments that you might have regarding that project. I know Mr. Young and Heather made a few little adjustments. And Mr. Young, you said changing it from requirements to suggestions, correct? And that's the kind of the tactic.
Yeah, I mean, and just the planning board should remember, they're just asking for our recommendations. And it's not something I don't think that we're formally approving,
No.
But-
Yeah.
just in thinking through it, if we're calling them guidelines, then you have it reading as if they're requirements. My suggestion was, let's just make sure they read like they're guidelines and
Yeah.
not requirements.
Would there be any problem with them suggesting to an applicant or offering the guidelines, and then the applicant saying, well, no, we don't want to do that? I mean, what do you foresee in a situation like that? I mean, we can't mandate it per se. I mean, we could, when it gets to us, I guess we could say, no, we want you to do thus and such. So maybe that's a safeguard right there. But-
Yeah, I'm approaching it from the standpoint of these are guidelines. And so if they are guidelines, then let's make sure they read like guidelines, because if they read like requirements, but we're calling them guidelines,
And then, yeah,
then we don't know, then it becomes difficult to decipher what they actually are.
sure.
So if the conservation board is applying them as guidelines, they can make their recommendations. And then we can take those into consideration when we're looking at our site plan subdivision seeker requirements and do with them as we may under those provisions.
Okay, very good. Did anybody have any comments or concerns with the document that was submitted to us? Mr. Prokowski, no. Mrs. Brill?
No.
Mr. Eckert? No. Mrs. Reynolds?
Nothing.
Mr. List?
Thank you.
Mr. Rutledge?
No.
Okay. Well, let's just, we'll take a vote here just to approve our approval of their document. So we'll take a motion, make a motion to approve the document submitted by the Conservation Board. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay.
Do we have to make any reference, Don, as to the usage of the word guideline or
Say again?
advisory? Do we have to put anything in this regarding use of the word guidelines? Not,
I mean, you can, I offered to the chairman that you can certainly just share my comments wholesale and they can take or
Perfect.
leave them if you want to do that.
And I would say Heather's already made a lot of those changes.
perfect.
How did that come up?
What's that?
They have been working on this for several weeks, if not months,
Well,
right?
I would say years.
Years. Okay.
It's been a long
Update.
time making. When they finally got to a point where they wanted to share it with the planning board. And, when we started to review it, and as Don said, guidelines versus shall and will.
Yeah.
It's so funny because when you hear it out loud, it sounds so obvious and common sense.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, really, for months? But that makes all the sense in the world.
And so basically what they did is they took the original landscape guidelines that we had done by Barbara Judas, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. Now they've been able to use it for some time, they decided to, see what works and what doesn't work, and come up with these new appendices. Or guidelines, for lack of a better word, so. What it does is a good summary of the report itself and how they've used it over the years, so fine tune it.
Thank you.
All right, well, very good. Now, before we adjourn, I just want to remind those of you that have your disclosure forms in front of you, Heather needs those back. So if you could fill those out tonight and leave them, and Chris or Luke or somebody will get those to Heather. And this is something that we do every year, typically. So
If you can't read it, you're part of the group.
Yeah, as soon as we're off here, I want to ask a question.
yeah. Okay, motion to adjourn. I got reflection in the clock. Is it 6? Thank you, 6:37.